Greetings, fellow Poltermasters. Greetings, fellow Poltermasters. I'm Crash Rowsell. It's once again time to Crash Skylanders with this very special challenge video where I'm wondering if I can beat Skylander Spyros Adventure without taking any damage. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting myself up to the unique task of trying to complete Spyros Adventure, a full game, without taking a single hit the entire time, whether it be with enemies or with the environment. Now, it's the impossible, of course, but I feel like it is possible. I've had the many of abilities in my life to future predict what I think could happen, and this one, well, this could be a pretty big one. And I gotta say, I've questioned it before until now, but possibly I can make my dream a reality, so we're going to find out today. Now, there are some rules involved, so I will get right into them there now, so let's waste no more time and discuss the rules of this challenge. I pick one Skylander to use throughout the entire challenge. I cannot switch Skylanders in between levels, I have to keep the same one the entire time. I will be pursuing through every level one at a time, and at any point if I'm either damaged by an enemy or the environment, that level is considered a fail, and I have to move on. No glitches or exploits allowed, every level has to be attempted fairly, and I'm also writing the script as I go, so I have no clue if I won or lost this challenge until the very end. The goal in each level is to make it to the end regardless of how I do it unless I take damage at any point. Each level also only has one shot, so if I take damage, even in a dumb way, that's it. The level is considered a fail. Alright, so there we go. One Skylander allowed to be used the entire time in this series. And you know what? Thinking of what Skylander I'm going to use was the hardest part, because obviously most of you are going to assume I'm going to choose Bash. And yes, don't get me wrong, I love playing as that guy, but I feel like his close range attack puts me in harm's way way more than it should, and his range attack is great, but I feel like I'd be probably getting hit a lot more than I need to. So I decided to go with Flame Slinger. The reason I chose Flame Slinger is because not only does he have an excellent range attack with those arrows he can shoot forward and lob forward, he also has the Fire Trail Sprint, where if I have an enemy trying to chase me down, or I can set up a terrain in front of me where if the enemies try to approach me, they can get taken out with the fire. So I feel like Flame Slinger is probably the best option for this game. There might be another option that might have been good, but for now, I'm going to choose Flame Slinger, so that's my choice. So as I did mention, I'm writing this script as I go, so I have no clue if I've actually beaten this challenge right now, so let me know in the comments below if you think I'm going to beat this or not, or just predict it ahead of time and then come back and edit your comment. I'm very excited to get into this, and keep in mind that I am taking this very seriously. So before you start thinking, oh, it's going to be a joke, he's probably going to get hit in all of them just for the fun of it, I'm trying to actually literally determine if this is possible. So keep that in mind, because, you know, as Skyland's greatest gamer, I think I'm actually going to do pretty well in this one. So we're going to get right into it and waste no more time and get right into the Shattered Islands. So we begin our journey here at the first level, and I don't think I could be more confident than I was in this level. There's a whopping 2 areas to fight basic chompies, so I wasn't worried at all throughout the level. However, there was a very close moment in the first fight where I turned the wrong way, and man, I almost lost it immediately. Thankfully, I'm the best, so I took them out, and the other set of enemies was even easier, making the first level a breeze and making my score 1-0. Okay, now this one was pretty easy also. The only part that I was a little nervous about was the 2 Drow that drop down after you move the turtle out, but I took advantage of that and got one of them trapped. Thank Master Eon for the arrow lob attack, because that was the only way I took him out that easily. I did also remember that once you hop into the cannon at the end, the enemies just disappear. So now if you claim that that is an exploit, it isn't. The game does that, not me. So with another win, that now makes my run 2-0. So this is a level where I started doubting myself, if I could 100% this. But it is me, so I had some kind of confidence the whole time. However, this one could have been more heartbreaking. I started off strong, especially with a very random Drow that seems like he could immediately hit you even before you had the chance to swing back, but I luckily got past him. However, I had a plan where the turret section wouldn't count, and well, I made a dumb mistake right after that. Right after that, I approached the next area, and taking out the Drow, I had no clue there was 2 others, and well, that was it. Taking a hit from an enemy I had no clue it was even there. If I was recording my audio, you would have heard the biggest groan of all time, and also making my score 2-1. Oof. Okay, so this is my favorite level in this game, but it's also the first level that could cause me harm with the environmental damage, like with the spikes. Now, since I've done this level so many times, I know how to properly time the spikes, and a mix of long range and the drones and the spikes could cause some problems, which it did. Yeah, I still don't know how it happened, but I somehow stepped on a dang spike after it was down, and it hurt me. I still don't understand how that happened, but a tiny little mistake now makes my score 2-2. I'm actually disgusted at myself. So the only real challenge I saw myself here was the tank at the very end, because even with my arrow lobs, I could still easily get hit. So I start off very strong by taking out the troll grenaders with the lobs, and then turn my attention to focus on taking out so many enemies from behind. But one big issue was that Spellpunk. I had no clue what his ability was, and well, it was too late. He got a ton of damage on me while I was trying to lob at him. Like, coming to think about it, I should have just ran and took him out, and now the tank is the least of my worries because I'm now 2-3. So this is one I feel indifferent about. Darkwater Cove has a weird layout with weirder enemies, and I felt like I could get this one as long as I'm very careful. The Nautiloid mini guys have a really good charge attack, so I have to avoid them, and the Blastineers with range attacks could be worrying. However, I did exactly what I feared and made a simple mistake and somehow got stuck. It seems to be a running joke on this channel how much I get stuck in things during Spyros Adventure, and today is no other. Yeah, it's like no other. Giving an easy hit to the Nautiloid, making me 2-4. This is not looking good. So this is the first level where you face off against Chaos's minions, and I know how difficult that battle is, but the whole Leviathan Lagoon level had me worried too. So coming into level 2-4, it had me worried, but man, I was very surprised how well I traversed this level. Very minor near misses from enemies aside, I decided like always that the turret sections don't count towards the actual level, so it made me way too happy that I actually made it to Chaos without getting hit. So during my first fight with Zap, I was shocked that I figured out his pattern and actually defeated him, but then came the sharks, and I knew I was done. One quick trap into the corner because I'm an idiot, and I'm now 2-5. However, I am extremely proud of myself during that level. Still can't believe I beat Zap. This is definitely one of my all-time favorite levels and has nothing to do with Diggs getting killed at the beginning. The Chrysolite Castle has 3 big fights from each tower area, and I know my range attacks are going to do wonders. I played this level so much that I know where everyone comes out and where they go. However, my minor mistake of forgetting to take out an enemy before finishing a tower didn't hurt me. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. After 5 straight losses, I finally got myself a win using the greatest range attack of all time, just shooting arrows forward. I will gladly take my score 3-5. Let's continue. Alright, I'm riding my high from the last level. I feel like Stone Town should be fun. The biggest fight is right at the end, but the rest of the level is no slouch either. Luckily, the lob attack helped me a ton throughout this level, and I decided to keep back throughout most of the fights. Just, range attacking from far away. So, heading into the battle with the stone golem, I was confident with this fight, as it isn't the hardest, but it has some unpredictable stone throws. Which, sadly, is what happened. The battle was going extremely well, but that rogue throw right towards the end gave me one swift hit, and that's the game, sadly. I really wanted this one to work out, but I guess Eon had other plans, making my plan now 3-6. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what even happened here. This one was probably the worst experience I've ever had playing Skylanders, and I played the Griffin Park Observatory numerous times. I was going into this level ready to go, and then the Drow for some reason didn't do the bounce back move that every single other Drow does throughout my over 10 years of playing Spyros Adventure, and then he somehow hit me, making my score 3-7. I'm very angry about this one. Let's move on, please. Another fight with Chaos's minions at the end, but the trek here isn't that bad. Luckily, the Arrow Lob helped me again, but tiny issues with the Saw Blade spinning and the Troll Grenaders could have made an issue for me, but I am the best Skylanders player ever, and it was a good adventure throughout the level, but the Chaos fight was looming on my mind the entire time. But I made it, and that's all that matters. Zook was my first fight, and with his range attack and his barrier, it could have caused an issue. Somehow, I kept getting around him, and I took him out. And then I took out the first set of the weird beetle things, which isn't really hard to begin with. Stealth Up was an easy go for me. Just move slightly to the left and easy win every time. Another beetle takeout in the battle with Stump Smash, who I somehow beat too. Don't know about that one. And then it comes to the final beetle fight. So this one is hard as heck. And I don't know how I did it. Even with a very close call, I beat them too. So I had one final fight left with the 3 minions again, and even though I know for a fact that Zook's Pineapple hit me right before I hit him, I actually freaking won. I can't believe it. I actually beat that level without getting hit. I beat all of Chaos's minions, and now I'm so excited to say I'm 4-7. Onward to the next level. I'm invincible now. So I was riding my high going into this level. I knew I was going to travel this level safely, like using the mix of range and thankfully getting a break in between with the puzzles. I was feeling pretty dang good up to this point. So I forgot about the gun snout throughout the level, so I played it safe. Moving back and forth when I could, I avoided everything he threw at me. Even the big battles with multiple trolls and the gun snout, I was doing so well throughout and collected all 4 map pieces until I ran straight into a rocket imp literally before the end of the level. What is actually wrong with me? All I know is that I'm now 4-8, and that doesn't look great. And neither does me screaming at the fact I was literally 1 teleporter away from winning this level. Hate myself. So I got hit here. But it took me a very long time to actually realize it, and then me going back to watch the clip to see where I got hit. I forgot there was a tank involved, so I got excited when I avoided him, just to realize I got hit so far back by an enemy, I didn't even know it was there. So, if you watch, I threw a bomb at the barrier, somehow missed an enemy, which got an easy hit on me, yet they normally get destroyed super easily with that bomb. I was really hoping this one would work out too, because I was so confident after avoiding that tank, but oh well, we can't have it all, making me 4-9. This one just doesn't need words. Just watch. Yeah, I'm 4-10. There's nothing else I can say. So this one I knew would be complicated, but I decided to use the bombs to my advantage. I also have to remember the lob arrows to help me for a lot of enemies at a higher range. Luckily, the flame arrows do great damage to all the spider enemies, and the range will work great for the spiders who trap you, like the Moon Widow. So, knowing all that, and remembering there are spikes, and to wait until they're 100% down before I move, I got pushed into a spinning blade. Sounds about right when it comes to me. And now I'm 4-11. Oh well. So this one I remembered had zombies, and then I remembered fire takes them out easily. So this one I had some positivity going into it. I gave this one my all, knowing that what's coming next is way harder, and I approached this one head on. Starting off strong, but taking out the rhubarbs pretty easily, and staying back shooting down the skeletons, I got excited knowing I was on a roll. However, I felt nervous heading into the room where the undead spellpunk spawn with a bunch of rhubarbs, and he makes one supersized. And on the other side of the wall is 4 skeletons. However, as the best gamer ever, I tore through it. until I got to the next room, which was smaller than the last, and I got sandwiched in. Yeah, maybe next time, because I'm now 412. So this one has a chaos battle at the end, and the last time I did one of those, I somehow won. So had a little bit of hope going into it. The level itself is something I don't fully remember though, as I kind of blocked this one from my mind ever since Cinder, the incident from the first ever Dragon Lock. But I digress, this one should be interesting. One puzzle later, I somehow walked into a rogue arrow that was just kind of there. I don't know. I literally shook my head in pure sadness when that happened because I'm not so sure about this run anymore, making my score 413. I will keep my pure hatred for digs aside and keep the Molkin mind in my thoughts of how short this level is. I actually had hope with this one, but nothing prepared me for the pure cheese moves I would come up when I was in here. The trap machines inside the rocks never knew what hit them since they literally had no clue what was hitting them, aka my lob arrows from a far angle. I did do the dumb move of pushing the minecart all the way to the top when I needed to keep it to push digs out of the cave, but after finding the last Molkin, it somehow spawned digs to the very top, meaning I actually did it. My first win since beating Chaos's minions and the Fallen Forest, and I will gladly take it. 15-13, baby, we are back! Riding into the Lava Lakes Railway with the confidence galore, I immediately remembered that this had another Chaos fight, and one of Chaos's minions is another Flameslinger, so I became unconfident right away. However, I felt like I could do myself justice and get myself to the fight, and maybe somehow beat the minions after. The fire imps were a little worrisome in this level as the tunnels can get pretty small, which unfortunately came into play. After the third train run, the camera made me go backwards, ran me straight into a fire imp, and ended my winning streak, setting me back 5-14. I really should have recorded face cam for these clips because the pure regret on my face when I realized Quicksilver Vault was next made me almost vomit. The Archean Ultron is the hardest thing in this entire game, in my opinion. So coming to this, I knew that that would be a challenge, plus the entire level itself. I was feeling pretty unconfident. That is until I actually beat the Archean Ultron in the first part. Yes, there are others, but that first one made me feel that was the one that made me most worried. So I head through the teleporters. I was wildly confident. That is until I got to the Gnasher that somehow hit me as soon as I landed from the teleporter. I literally had no chance. Like, no chance. I feel robbed. I feel sad. But I'm now 5-15. 5-15. So, see, I'm so sad I can't even say I'm 5-15. I'm that sad. For the numerous times playing any lock ever in Spyros Adventure, never once have I openly fought something I didn't fully need to. This level is exact reasoning for that idea. I knew once I got to the actual vault, I would just avoid everything if I could and if I had to, and well, that's exactly what I did the entire time. Luckily, the two main enemies, the Ultron and the Defenders, they like to stop before they hit, so I can run around them and not take a single shot at them at all. And you know, the flame might actually damage them. So for the entirety of this video, you're going to see me be the biggest coward and avoid everything I can. Complain all you want, the goal is to not get hit, and that's what the best way is, to run through everything and avoid everything. Now, you're wondering what part in this level I got hit at, right? Keep wondering, baby, because I'm now 6-15, baby. Cheesin' ain't easy. Alright, let's end this video on a high note and head into the Lair of Chaos. I made the decision that if I make it to Chaos that I would beat the level, as I think it's physically impossible to not get hit by Chaos during this battle. Prove me wrong if you must. You won't be seeing that attempt in this video, of course. And yeah, watch this. I started the level, and when I used the teleporter, I got hit by a fire imp because I stopped while teleporting. Makes total sense. What an anticlimactic ending by yours truly, leaving my final total 6 wins, 16 losses at a 37.5% overall. And that's it. At the end of the challenge, I ended up 6 wins, 16 losses. I mean, 6 wins is better than I thought I'd do, and I'm really mad at myself for certain levels. I mean, what was it? The Troll Warehouse, where I was literally 1 teleporter away from winning the level, and then of course the battlefield where I immediately got hit as soon as I walked out of the level. Same with the Lair of Chaos. Never stood a chance. But then some levels I was genuinely shocked about, like the Falling Forest. I don't know how I beat those minions. So I guess I can be good at the game sometimes, and honestly, sometimes it's just sheer luck. I mean, the Quicksilver Vault. Literally, I waltzed in and did great, and then of course when I land on the teleporter, I'm froze there and they hit me immediately. So I feel like I never had a chance then. But some of the levels were a lot easier than the others. Some of them I felt like if I give it a second chance, I think I'd do fine with it. But that was the way it goes. Is the video you saw was literally my one and only attempt that I had. So 6 out of 16, or no, not 6 out of 16, 6 out of 24, because it's the whole thing. But yeah, I won 6 levels and I lost 16. So let me know in the comments below if you guys enjoy this, and let me know if you're going to attempt this challenge yourself and how well you did. And of course, if you want to see if you can take on challenge and not chaos and not get hit, let me know in the comments if you did that, and for some reason if you want to see me do it. I don't want to. I will see you for a very special video in the future, of course. Thank you all so much for watching. This video was a long one to make, but I think it was worth it in the end. And yes, I will be attempting these in the other 5 games in the future, so look forward to that. And I'm also going to attempt another different challenge in Spyros Adventure involving the treasure. So keep an eye out for that one in the future, so don't rip me off. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all very soon for another awesome video. Y'all mean the world to me. Don't ever forget it. Thank you, Flameslinger, for being the MVP of this series. Literally, he was the only player, the most valuable player, because he was the only one. But as always, I bid you farewell.